If you're watching this, chances are you've spent more mornings than you'd like to admit lacing up your walking shoes, diligently counting every calorie, and yet, that stubborn belly fat just refuses to budge. It can be incredibly frustrating, can't it? Especially when you're doing everything by the book. Walking, eating less, maybe even trying the latest diet trends, only to look in the mirror and wonder why your waistline hasn't changed. For many of us, crossing the age of 50 can feel like a turning point where our bodies suddenly stop responding to our efforts. The old tricks that worked in our 30s or 40s seem to lose their magic. It's as if your metabolism has hit the brakes, and nothing, not even your best efforts, seems to shift that belly fat. This confusion can leave you feeling powerless, even a little betrayed by your own body. But what if the missing piece isn't about working harder, but about working smarter? Recent research shows that timing, internal changes, and understanding your body's unique rhythms after 50 may matter even more than sheer willpower or cutting more calories. Today, I'll walk you through the science behind stubborn belly fat and reveal a simple, evidence-based tweak to your morning routine that could finally help you unlock the results you deserve. Let's start by understanding why belly fat becomes especially stubborn as we get older. After 50, our bodies undergo several changes that make losing fat, particularly around the middle, much more challenging. One major factor is the natural loss of muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. Muscle doesn't just help us stay strong, it also burns more calories at rest. When we lose muscle, our metabolism slows down, meaning we burn fewer calories even when we're not doing anything. At the same time, our bodies become less sensitive to insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar from the blood into our cells. Reduced insulin sensitivity makes it easier for our bodies to store fat, particularly in the abdominal area. This isn't just about how you look. Excess belly fat is linked to a higher risk of diabetes and heart disease, so it's important for your health as well as your confidence. Another challenge is the increase in stress hormones, like cortisol. As we age, our bodies can produce more cortisol in response to stress, and unfortunately, cortisol encourages fat storage around the belly. It's a triple whammy: less muscle, more insulin resistance, and higher stress hormones all working together to make belly fat harder to shift. But don't despair. Understanding what's happening inside your body is the first step toward making smarter choices that work with, not against, these changes. Now, let's talk about what's happening inside your body first thing in the morning. After a night's sleep, your body enters what we call a fasted state. This simply means you haven't eaten for several hours, so your insulin levels are naturally low. When insulin is low, your body is primed to tap into stored fat for energy. This fasted state is a unique window of opportunity. Because your body isn't busy processing food, it's more likely to burn fat, especially if you add a gentle physical activity like walking. Think of it as giving your metabolism a nudge in the right direction before breakfast. This is why many experts, myself included, recommend a morning walk before eating. Your body is quite literally set up to use fat stores for fuel. It's a subtle but powerful shift. Rather than focusing solely on how much you move or how little you eat, paying attention to when you move can make a real difference. Your hormones, energy systems, and even your fat cells respond differently in the morning, especially when you're in this fasted state. This isn't about skipping meals or starving yourself, it's about making the most of your body's natural rhythms. You might be wondering, is there science to back up this idea? The answer is yes, and it's quite compelling. Several studies have looked at what happens when people exercise in a fasted state, particularly in the morning before eating. What researchers have found is that fasted exercise increases fat oxidation. That's the technical term for burning fat for fuel. One interesting study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that people who walked or cycled before breakfast burned up to 20% more fat during their workout compared to those who exercised after eating. Other research suggests that exercising in a fasted state can improve what's known as metabolic flexibility, or your body's ability to switch between burning carbs and fat depending on what's available. But it's important to be realistic. Fasted exercise is not a magic bullet. It won't melt away belly fat overnight, and it isn't right for everyone. The benefits depend on consistency and making this a regular part of your routine. Think of it as giving yourself a small but meaningful advantage, rather than a quick fix. Over weeks and months, these advantages can add up to real, visible changes. Now, here's where many people unintentionally sabotage their efforts, by eating or drinking anything with calories before their morning walk. That innocent splash of milk in your tea or the quick banana you grab on your way out the door can actually raise your insulin levels. Once insulin goes up, your body shifts from burning fat to storing it, even if you're about to exercise. This is a crucial detail. The goal is to keep your insulin low, so your body remains in that fat-burning mode. Even small amounts of sugar, cream, or carbohydrates can disrupt this process. It's a subtle mistake, but it can make a big difference over time. If you're serious about targeting belly fat, it's worth paying close attention to what you consume before your walk. For many people, simply swapping out a milky coffee for black coffee, or waiting until after their walk to eat breakfast, can make their efforts much more effective. It's not about deprivation, it's about giving your body the right conditions to do what you want it to do. So next time you head out for your walk, try skipping the pre-walk snack and see if you notice a difference. So, how long should you actually walk to see results? The answer lies in giving your body enough time to switch gears and start burning fat more efficiently. Most research and expert guidelines suggest aiming for 30 to 45 minutes of moderate-paced walking in the morning, before eating. This duration allows your body to move beyond just burning off stored sugars and start tapping into fat reserves. Why does duration matter? In the first 10 to 20 minutes of exercise, your body primarily uses up stored carbohydrates for energy. As you continue, especially in a fasted state, it gradually turns to fat as its main fuel source. That's why a longer walk, ideally in that 30 to 45 minute sweet spot, makes the most of your fat-burning window. You don't need to go fast or push yourself to exhaustion. The key is consistency and sticking with it. Over time, these regular morning walks build up, helping you chip away at belly fat and improve your overall health. The extra 10 or 15 minutes each day can make a significant difference, especially when combined with the right timing and intensity. Finding the right pace is just as important as timing and duration. For belly fat loss, moderate intensity is your best ally, but what exactly does that mean? One simple way to gauge it is the talk test. If you can walk and still hold a conversation, but singing would be a struggle, you're likely in the right zone. Moderate intensity is effective because it's sustainable. You're working hard enough to increase your heart rate and challenge your body, but not so hard that you burn out or dread your walks. This level of effort keeps you in the optimal fat-burning range and makes it easier to stick with your routine day after day. Pushing too hard can actually backfire, raising stress hormones like cortisol, which, as we discussed earlier, can encourage your body to hold on to belly fat. So resist the urge to turn your morning walk into a race. Steady, moderate effort delivers the results you're after, especially as your body adapts with age. Before you head out for your morning walk, don't forget about hydration. After several hours of sleep, your body is slightly dehydrated, which can leave you feeling sluggish and slow your metabolism. A glass of water before you walk is usually all you need to rehydrate and prepare your body for activity. If you enjoy a morning coffee or tea, good news, you don't need to give it up. As long as you stick to black coffee or plain unsweetened tea, you won't interfere with your body's ability to burn fat. In fact, caffeine can give you a gentle boost, making your walk feel easier and helping you tap into those fat stores. Just avoid adding sugar, cream, or milk before your walk, as even small amounts can raise insulin and reduce fat burning. Practicality matters too. Lay out your walking clothes the night before, keep a water bottle by your bed, and consider setting aside a regular time each morning. Making these small tweaks can turn your morning walk into a habit that sticks, maximizing your chances of long-term success. If you've been struggling to lose belly fat after 50, I encourage you to try a morning walk in a fasted state. Focus on the simple but powerful details: timing, duration, and moderate intensity. Give your body the right conditions to access its fat stores, and remember that consistency matters more than perfection. Small changes like drinking water before your walk, skipping the pre-walk snack, or choosing black coffee can add up to meaningful results over time. The key is to stay patient and persistent, knowing that your efforts are working in harmony with your body's natural rhythms. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you feel empowered to make these gentle changes to your morning routine. Remember, it's never too late to take control of your health. Every step you take brings you closer to a healthier, happier you.